Welcome to the Game Corner, another video game podcast. My name is Harrison. You might know me online as Ixen, and I am joined by my two friends this week.
It's rough pulling us all together at once.
Yeah, that was a great pause.
Were we supposed to come in there?
I know you were off a week and you were in San Diego, but it hasn't been that long.
I am really jet lagged, so yeah, I just got back in from the regional. It was like changing 3 hours and then having to start playing at 9 a.m. is kind of something, and that was the longest tournament in a long time, I think.
That was a very long tournament. But who's speaking?
Who are you?
Oh, I'm Rowan. You guys should know this by now.
This could be someone's first episode, and this is a great first impression.
Welcome.
Welcome.
I did not grasp that was your introduce yourself bit right now. So
what?
You can't go off script on me. I have the brain function of a slug right now.
Hardly off script. I had the same lead in as always, which was the long.
I'm joined by blah.
This is Captain Unova, also Sheldon. Yeah,
we got there.
We're professionals.
We are professionals. We are getting paid. Thank you, patrons.
If you get paid $1 a month, I think that's a job, right?
It is technically.
We're getting paid. Which I guess this is a great time to plug Patreon. It's down below. Okay, now that that's done, how was San Diego? So we're recording the Monday after the San Diego regionals, which were huge. 10 rounds of Swiss. Rowan, our very own, got to go and participate in the regionals. And this whole episode is going to be a very jet-lagged Rowan telling us all about his experience.
Yeah, so I was going to say, didn't do as well as I wanted to. Only finished 5-5 there, which was a little disappointing. But honestly, like I was looking back at everyone who beat me ended up getting either CP or like bubbling out of cut. Barely in a couple cases. So yeah, and like it. So as far as my play, I wasn't super happy, but the event was really cool. San Diego is a great city, and we got to be in the convention center that they do Comic-Con in, which is absolutely massive.
I was gonna say, did they use the whole floor space?
No, actually, we were extremely cramped.
Really?
They got like one little room, and there was 600 some odd VG players and 800 some odd TCG players. So,
sure.
And then you got all the Pogo players too.
Yeah, and then Pogo.
But they're walking around the city. That's how you play Pokemon Go.
Oh no, they're just tapping. They're tapping away. So yeah, there's a stream of tapping. I'm sure it's in depth, but I don't understand it. So
that's fair. Yeah, I did not catch any of the streams, unfortunately. I heard there were some issues with the streams on day one.
Yeah, well, not the streams themselves. It was connection issues, and this was really widespread. Even in general play.
Even the streaming was there was some issues with the actual stream too.
Okay, well, I mean, I wasn't watching the stream.
Yeah,
so.
I was watching the stream. So, but yeah, so you had the first match, Brandon Zhang and who was it? Gosh, I can't remember who the first match was. But they had two disconnects.
Yeah, no, that was nothing to do with the stream. That was entirely the game. Like they were all disconnecting it at that first turn.
The actual stream though, it was like I don't know, like glitchy, like it was like popping almost. And even when it was the commentators, a few times it was just kind of popping in and out.
Gotcha. So. Yeah, no, I mean there were a couple of rounds I got where we just had to restart after like it would just be on lead. Like at least you didn't have to like recreate a game. It was always as soon as the game started they would disconnect. But like then it's kind of honor code. Like you can say okay, let's do the same leads, but there's nothing holding you to bringing the same two in the back. Because you can be like, okay, I'm going to adapt to what I know my opponent's bringing. And then even then, I was next to some people who got pretty upset with each other because one of them didn't lead the same way. And he was like, hey, I'm sorry, but I don't have to do that. Like, there's nothing in the rules.
Yeah, it's not in the
this.
Rules.
And a judge came over and he's like, yeah, he's right. It's not about it. And then like open team sheet was another huge thing. We were all given like printed out sheets, which is the first time it's ever happened as far as I know.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how was that experience? Right,
It was good. I like that version of play a lot better. I was able to like play around, determine like who has protect and who doesn't and all, which is like really different from how you'd normally play.
Sure.
And it was really helpful on my kind of team where I'm just blasting things with extreme speed. I don't have to worry about wasting my turn. But what's I gonna say? There were several people who got penalized. I ended up getting a free game off of it because my opponent put Rage Powder instead of Rage Fist on their Annihilate.
I heard that a lot. I saw a lot, and I
Yeah.
still don't understand like why Arcanine, like it's too easy to screw it up. Because I remember even with the
There's
players
no
Cup-
reason they shouldn't be like integrating with Showdown in some
Exactly.
way.
Yeah,
Like
use the
you should
paste.
Since it has
just if you use
validation.
a Poke Paste, like if you just uploaded that, you would never have to worry about any of that.
Yeah, no, I mean, there were people who lost games like in cut even where it wasn't found until then.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
So yeah, I mean, like in terms of technical stuff, it was pretty rough to be honest. Like yeah, tons of people had to restart their games. Like you would like just power cycle your Switch and then hope that it worked out. There's no battle box locking anymore, so like
Right.
Yeah.
you're kind of just on honor code that you aren't like swapping out mons to get better EVs between matches. They would have people come around every so often and like cycle through all your battle teams to make sure you didn't have like 3 different versions of the same team with like different
Yeah.
EVs or whatever for different scenarios, which is like kind of niche, but like
Do you have to-
It's a weird,
it would be
weird
pretty easy to do.
oversight.
It's
It's a weird oversight.
to not have the live competition
Yeah,
tab.
no, I mean
or whatever.
the staff did amazingly with what they had. Like they made it work pretty well, and like, but yeah, in terms of like on the stream, they started trying to do the like actual spectator mode where like you'd be able to see the like overhead view and you wouldn't see anybody's like interfaces or whatever, but that crashed every time, and so they ended up just having to do the same old, just like put an Elgato in someone's Switch and then someone's the main character basically.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, hopefully by I'm not gonna hold out too much hope, but maybe by Worlds. Yes, we have some cool patch that makes this experience much better. So how long when you got paired up? How long did you have to look at like the open team sheet?
So the way it works is you have to open a union room. Like someone makes a union room, it has a code, someone else joins it, and then at that point you are like, and you're both in airplane mode but wired into the Ethernet there. So like once you're in a union room, like you both have as stable of a connection as you physically could have on the Switch, and you can just directly connect to each other in double battle. You don't have to type in a code after that point. So basically from the moment you typed in your union room code, that was when I exchanged sheets. So basically from the time that you were like starting to click double battle in the menu is when you could start being able to like read the paper and start to make plans in your head about what you're going to do.
Okay.
And then you just have their sheet to look at for the rest of the set. It's not like look at this, memorize it, and then you don't get it back. It's you can be referencing it at any point.
Sure. So was it to clarify, like were you given a printout of your sheet, and then that's what you gave to your opponents each time?
Exactly, yeah.
And,
And
just got it back at the
it had
end?
everything in different languages. I think they messed up and made it so that the teratypes were either always in English or always in the language that you typed it in. So like,
Sure.
Why not?
kind of iffy, but yeah, it was actually pretty good that they had it in a bunch of different languages. And then I was gonna say, if you lost your sheet, you had an instant game loss the next set. Like if you couldn't find your sheet, then you'd like give up a game and have to go and like get another one printed out. And like, yeah, they're being harsh about it, but I guess you just have to.
I mean,
it's
it makes
just something
sense.
to take care of. Yeah.
So I was
you kind
wondering,
of have
like,
to.
I was afraid before we knew it was printed out team sheets, which I think you only found out day of. But like the fear of like, I can't read your handwriting.
Yeah. No, it's at least printed, so that's really nice. And I didn't test this, but they have a thing on the back of the team sheets that said it was like secure in such a way that like if you tried to make a copy of it, it would have the words void written across the whole sheet, so nobody could like scan their sheet and modify it and like get a different one midway through the tournament or something like that. So
Wow.
yeah, I mean like all kinds of weird checks for cheating that would have been like really hard to do, and then
yeah, like where
not so
how
much
are you,
just the basic process.
how would you get like? You hope someone has a portable
Scanner.
scanner copier.
I mean, you
thing?
could scan it on your phone. There are apps that do that, but then like where are you going to print it from? I don't know.
Right.
Exactly.
Like there's a lot going on.
You have to
there.
have someone outside the convention center like get it and run it back to you like at lunch.
Yeah,
I guess
don't
lunch would have
really
been the time to do it. Actually, that's when you had a break long enough to go.
But yeah, 10 rounds of Swiss went a long time. We ended up,
That's a
it actually
lot.
didn't go as late as people were worried it was going to go until like 1 a.m. But I think the
That's
Dozo
worst
players,
case.
including myself, just didn't want to do that to everybody. Like I actually only brought Dozo to maybe 3 or 4 games
really?
the whole time. So I don't think I'm bringing it again. I think that like everybody super overcorrected for it. The only set I really brought it to consistently was the one where it was one player who didn't have like multiple checks on their team, but everybody else was like ready for it.
Yeah.
I see.
So I was mostly playing with 4 mons the whole tournament.
Well,
It's still the threat of it, though.
Yeah,
It's-
no, I
you
mean,
still make
and
people
that's cool
think.
because
Yeah.
you can see what their counter is obviously, and
Right.
then you can say, okay, they're definitely bringing this at least to game 1, so I can.
And it's better than like showdown ladder, so you can actually see like what
see and
you know,
adjust.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, I definitely love the open team sheet. Like I said, the results were disappointing, but I know exactly where I went wrong. Even in play, like I can blame it on the team or whatever, but like there were definite turns where you just like could have done something different, and that's the game, right? So
Yeah.
So what was your team?
so yeah, I brought Dozo, and then so it was like lefties, fast, bulky Dozo, with order up, EQ, sub, protect, and then a scarf Tatsu, Meowscarada with sash, Dragonite with life orb, Skeledirge, Terra Flying with Citrus Berry, and Sylveon. So one really annoying thing, I made an adjustment to my team to handle the sand matchup, where I made Sylveon fairly fast at the expense of a bit of special attack. Like I made my special attack 164 instead of like high 200s like most people do. And that's still like 1 point over the break, so it's pretty to be even. It's pretty good. But it was to make it faster than like any Tyranitar spread that most people do. And that way I avoid one set of rock slide flinches, and that made it a lot more consistent. I didn't run into a single sand team, and there were
Sounds about right.
and there were at least 3 matches where Sylveon fell just short of picking up a KO. I probably would have had it with another like 60
Point or
plus
two.
EVs in there.
Sand.
Yeah,
Oh, fair
so,
enough. Yeah.
yeah, a little painful that made that call and it didn't pan out, but it happens,
Sure.
First regional in a
Yeah.
series
Well, of
that
this
we'll
format
never see.
anyway,
Yeah,
yeah.
and we'll never see it again. So
Exactly. So that's the next thing, right? Is that a little disheartening. I saw all these really cool teams, and I've been playing with Palafin all day since I got back. It's just like this. People really showed off that it could work, and it does.
Yeah.
It's been a lot of fun on ladder,
Especially
for me
in
when
rain.
I don't know what's coming. Yeah, in rain, it's Palafin,
Yeah.
Palafin, and Pelipper. But yeah, no, we got the announcement that even Orlando is going to be in Series 2 with Paradox Mons.
Yeah,
And
that's sad.
we have no way to practice that. There's no ladder for it. Showdown doesn't have a ladder for it yet. I'm sure that they'll get on it pretty soon, but we have no way to play that on card at all. It's kind of messed up.
Yeah, I don't understand how they like what the thought process of, hey, new series 2 days in we'll have a big competition using
Yeah,
it.
that's
Right.
awesome.
I really feel like they should have just stuck to one for one more tournament, but apparently they are not allowed to give CP if it's not in the current format. So
By their own rules.
Yeah.
But-
Right. Or just put it off for a month. Like
or a week.
What?
I'm fine.
Yeah.
I mean, they've
Yeah.
already booked the convention center, right? So it is what it is. But yeah, it's a little sad because we've already bought our Airbnb, so we're going. But like,
Oh, sure.
yeah,
Yeah, no, I'm with you there. We'll see each other in person.
yeah,
All of
it'll,
us.
it'll be fun. I know a lot more people. I met some really cool people at San Diego, like people who
I
I
was gonna
talked to
say,
online.
That must have been one of the coolest parts of the experience. Is
Yeah,
seeing-
yeah, and again, like this community is just so nice. Like everyone was super welcoming and all that, and I wanted to like go out and party with everybody afterwards, and then I got a text at like 11 o'clock, and I was like, this isn't that late, and then I realized like, no, that's 2 something in your time. That's why you're
Yeah.
exhausted. I'm just going
yeah,
to sleep.
it
Like,
makes sense.
after like 12 hours of Pokemon, it's like I'm done.
Did you say earlier, when did you stop? Like when did Swiss stop for the day?
I had some plane trouble towards the end when I was trying to rebook my flights. I don't remember exactly the time, but we like started quote unquote at 9 and then 9 a.m. and then we ended around 8 or 9 at night. Yeah, yes, it was a solid
Still.
12 hours, and then we were all there earlier than that because
Check-in and all that stuff.
they actually closed check-in earlier than usual. Like the website said it would be open till 7:30, but they actually stopped at around 4 or something. So our plane landed at 5, and there was no way we could do it.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, so we had to get
That's
there
rude.
really early in the morning to check in.
That does suck.
Yeah,
Okay. Well,
yeah.
what advice does Sleepy Rowan have right now for those of us going to Orlando?
I would say we'll check in the day before. That a couple extra hours of sleep is really nice. I would say choose a team that you don't need to play out of your mind to do well with. Like there's going to be a lot of like nerves and exhaustion. So if you have a team, like there's lots of teams that are equally viable, but some of them do the work for you to some degree, and some of them require you to do the work. And if you have some mode on your team that's just click buttons and kill things, and like you can get some cheeky KOs, like take a game like with one turn of events instead of having to like really plan it out and chip away, then I think that can be really valuable. Especially if you're not like super experienced already. Like if you're a newer player and I would bet Orlando's just as big as San Diego, if not bigger, even because it's cheaper, right? San Diego is not cheap to get a hotel in. So I would say you're probably also going to be playing 10 rounds of Swiss. So, something that you can play while you're a little tired. You don't have to galaxy brain, like plan your way through it.
That's always a big tournament thing, is like it's a grind, the whole tournament grind, but like an actual big regional tournament type thing. Like, cause I just remember from my like Magic playing days, like it is,
you have to have that stamina.
Yep. And like you were saying, like sometimes it's nice just to bring something you don't have to think. Like you just, push A and go, like you don't have to put too much brain power. But then again, that's things they don't typically perform as well typically, because it's a little bit more linear.
Yeah.
So there's
it's the nerves, right? Like I definitely played better at home in the comfort of my own house with like a nice cup of coffee and like nothing going on around me, and I could like talk to myself out loud, even, as opposed to like the pressure's on and you're surrounded by
that's what I'm not looking forward to, is not being able to, because most of the time, not as of late, but when I was laddering a lot, it's always on stream and I'm talking and I'm speaking my mind and I'm doing all this stuff, and
you have to internalize that. Don't say it out loud or your opponent's gonna know what you're thinking.
It's not a good idea.
And then you're kind of like sneaking peeks at them. It's like, are they looking at my team sheet? Do they know what I have? Do they forget? I was like,
I didn't even think about that. Like watching your opponent.
I have brick break on my Dragonite, and so like that Oko's pretty much any King Gambit 4 times, right? Same with T-Tar, but most of them run Terra Flying specifically because of that, right? So I was like, do they know? They should know, but are they like?
Are they paying attention?
Do they practice enough to like pay attention and realize that I have this coverage move? Because it's not a stab, so like they wouldn't think of it like off the top of their head,
right?
Yeah.
And like that, it seems kind of scummy, honestly, a little bit to do that, but I don't know, like it.
I mean, it's part of the game, though. Whenever you're playing face to face,
I think you should always be llooking at your sheet. Like, give your opponent the idea that you are like absolutely galaxy brained about it.
There's mental aspects to it like that. I always think that kind of stuff's always fun, because I know like in card games, I mean, you start getting tired and you accidentally like flash your cards at somebody. You just flash your hand to them, and all of a sudden like they know everything that's going on.
Yeah.
But it's like little like you might feel bad like looking at it, but if they just straight up show it to you. I mean,
that's
all fair in a tournament, right?
Right. I felt really bad when I called out my first round opponent on their Rage Powder Annihilate, and I was like, hey man, I want to win this, so I'm sorry. Like,
they
don't DQ you either. It's just like, this is an honest mistake, fine, like go get a new team sheet, you lose the game, like
it's a game loss,
to the next round. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I had already won game 1, and then I saw game 2, and I'm like, I'm calling that. So
yeah,
if I can close out the set by saying 3 words, I'm going to.
Yeah, and like, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. That's more on RK9 and just their system, how bad it is.
Yeah, it's a bad system, but it's also just on the player. Like, I'm sorry, like you make a silly mistake. It's
well, you played in the Players Cups too, because it was the same thing with that. Yeah. And I don't know how many times.
Yes, you have to. None of that's really relevant. Like, I don't think anybody's ever gonna like actually check on that.
But it is part of it, though.
Yeah, you do have to put in the stats and like the exact levels too, because this is the first time.
So if it's level 77, you have to put it in all the stats at level 77.
And that didn't used to be super relevant, because everybody had almost all their mons at level 100 last gen, because that's the only way you could bottle cap and mint and all that stuff. So like very few people had like the mons naturally perfect. But now, you only need 50, so all my mons were like just at random points between 50 and 100.
I see. So that is just more stuff to watch out for as we go into the rest of this, tournament circuit.
But you can always resubmit those sheets too, like as many times as you need to before it starts.
So that's
always good. So
Well,
just check,
until the cutoff, because
Yeah,
cutoff is before
until-
it starts,
yeah, until the cutoff. Yeah, that's what.
which is like 2 hours before. Wasn't it like 7:30 or
But-
something? Then
But always check it, double check it, triple. Like
Sure.
I think for the Players Cup, I remember changing one of them like 5 or 6 times because like, oh, I did that wrong. Like,
right.
Yeah, there are people who put like Sacred Fire instead of Sacred Sword on
yeah, that was
or something like that.
yeah, that was. I remember those. It's
Yeah.
easy to do because you type it in there and it just pulls up the
It
list.
auto-completes it for you. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, reread it over. It's like
Yeah,
Have someone else read it for you.
it's in 3 different
Yes.
places on
Like-
your dashboard. Like once you submit it, so like
Yeah.
just look.
just double
Yeah.
check, triple check.
On all this note, I mean, by the time this episode comes out, it is past this, but Tuesday this week, 9 o'clock Eastern time, is when Orlando Regionals registration opens up, which is also on Arcanine. So make sure that you have your, all your stuff set up, or hopefully you've already secured your spot in the regionals. We'll see.
Yeah,
Yes.
tomorrow got an alarm set.
Yep.
Hopefully it won't. They won't
Same.
like sell out though, like too crazy.
I mean,
They
even
will.
San Diego
Yeah.
didn't sell out for a couple
Did it not?
days.
Did it not actually? It wasn't
No,
super quick.
It did sell out, but the registration was open for a
It's
couple days
I don't
after.
think it's going to be like you have to be F5ing at the exact moment
Yeah.
to get a spot.
I hope not. 'cause
I will
That's
be,
horrible.
yes. Okay.
But like
Yes.
plenty of people will be buying it for a couple hours after. They apparently have a really large cap.
I've heard the large cap. Yes.
Yeah.
So
But
good, though.
the really large cap will probably be about the same as San Diego. I would guess in like the 600s. And it's going to be another Wild West one. Like San Diego, to some degree, we knew the meta. Like we have been playing Series 1 for about a month, but like kind
That's
of,
not
you know,
enough.
everybody's
That's not enough
still
time.
people were still getting used to like just the new mons and their tools, period.
Like people are still just figuring out Dondozo, and then
Yeah.
Dondozo was adapting to counter that stuff. Like we were still going through big
the
shifts.
Dondozo meta that lasted the last like 2 weeks, right?
Was
Or
pretty wild
maybe
to watch.
3.
I
Yeah.
feel a little dumb for even involving myself in it. Like it turned into like people like the Dozo Bozo thing is funny, but the only people who did well with it were absolute gods like Emilio
Oh, yeah.
and Wolfie. And now the other finalist, Chupa.
Chupa?
Yeah, they
Chupa.
all played masterfully with that thing. Like
Yeah.
you can't mess up, and the second someone outplays you with it, it's kind of over. Like
Yeah, it
'cause
is.
you've locked yourself into it.
It's very much a Colossal to me. It
Yeah.
plays a lot like Colossal.
I think it's even more committal than Colossal. Like you can
Yes.
pivot out of Colossal.
yeah,
in a bad case,
because
right?
you can like Gmax Colossal Vocalith and then recall get out or whatever you needed to do. But
And on top of
this-
that, your procs for Colossal were really good pieces in and of themselves.
Yes.
Urshifu Water is an amazing mon. You brought it without Colossal all
Yep.
the time.
Dragapult.
Dragapult, even to support Dragapult, is really good. Tatsu can do stuff. You bring it with Scarf, and then it can pick up some KOs at the end of the game and close things out if Dozo didn't quite manage it. But it's not a good. You would never bring Tatsu by itself.
I've brought it sometimes.
You bring
on
it
a
to
normal
games
team.
because that's your only option. I mean, on a team,
I would
Yeah.
build a team I need a Scarf Tat, but a lot of times it ends up being like my MVP of most games just because it does
It's
pick
your-
things off at the end.
Yep.
It's one of your only special attackers, right? And it's probably your
Yeah.
only. It's a if your Dozo doesn't have Wave Crash, it's your only water coverage, which I realized was a big problem for me. I definitely think I would build
I
Dozo
always
differently.
I run 3 attacking moves though on my Dozos
Yeah,
usually.
I was thinking that too. Like maybe 3 attacking moves plus sub. Like Protect is
Yeah.
pretty nice, but yeah.
Protector sub.
Anyway, that's over. Series 2 is going to be even more Wild West now.
Yep.
I think Dozo could still work in Series 2, but again, you
It
have to just
depends.
play it so well. There's even more
Yeah.
tools against it now.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're getting a
All
lot
of
of
the-
power.
All the Paradox Mon coming in, we were discussing this a little bit in one of our Discord groups of what's going to happen to the meta now that Series 2 is coming, and obviously with Orlando being Series 2. How is everything going to change?
Yeah, it's not they're not restricted, right? Like they're still reasonably on par with a lot of the other really top tier tools, but
Pseudo legendaries.
make no mistake, they are also top tier tools, and in some cases stronger than the ones we already have. So it's going to be weird. I think a lot of archetypes will be able to continue to function, maybe with some slight changes or even incorporating some of those paradox mons, but a lot of them are just going to be gone. You are just crept at this point.
Yep.
It'll be interesting though. I just wish we could just go ahead and get it. If we already have if you're already telling us
Yeah, can we just
Please
have it on
showdown.
cart now?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
just
It's really
hit the
frustrating
button.
that there is no ladder for it now. I think
Yeah.
grassroots events are going to be your only option.
yeah.
Yes. That's
sadly.
true.
So it just makes it hard to practice for it, especially with a regional coming up in it.
Yeah.
Like, it just makes it so hard. Like, even sometimes ladder isn't always the best practice, but it's something. You know, it gives you a chance to get a good feel. And sometimes you'll see things be like, oh, that's something I need to keep in mind, or I didn't realize.
You get to at least use your tools, right?
Yes.
Like,
You can
even if you
practice-
don't have open team sheet, you can still see how
It's still
things
practice. It's
Yeah.
practice. You know, you can work on, okay, don't do this next time.
interact. Yup. So hopefully we get something at least on Showdown soon for that.
Yeah. The Showdown guys are really fast and on it. Like, I would bet sometime this week for sure.
Yeah.
Or if you go to Team Builder, they're all on there anyway. So you
Yeah.
just have to-
You can just see the illegal word and don't care, right?
Yeah.
You can still
Sure.
build. And I'd love to do a whole episode about the Paradox Mons when I am not seeing things in the corners of my eyes. But, like,
Oh no. So on that note, we can maybe next week we can do Paradox Mons. You want to do that?
yeah, I think it'd be good. Yeah, there's
think we
there's
should.
so many cool things to talk about on those.
We can
and,
we can each grab a few and have some homework.
Oh no. Nope. You said homework. I'm out. I ain't doing that. I'm not going back to school.
I
No.
just
Still have
started.
nightmares
I
about
just
that,
started
yeah.
this week.
Oh, that's right. You did.
Yeah.
New semester.
Yep.
I'm so sorry for you.
Fun.
Yeah, it's gonna. I think I have it's like 15 credit hours I have. It's like 3 more than my other semesters. So.
So one more class, right?
No, it's still 3 classes. It's just one class.
Oh.
Dude,
It's a bit
I
bigger.
don't have the energy to do grad school again. I don't know what I was on when I managed to do grad school, and it's like,
Nope.
it's over
I don't.
now. Yeah.
I don't have the energy for school.
Nope. Okay. So, do we want to talk about some of the teams that did well
Yeah.
at San Diego? Because I think this is really cool.
Yeah, I'd love to. Like, my favorite archetype I saw that I was like expecting to do well, but I didn't at some point. But I didn't want to be like the person to jump on that first and not understand it is Palafin and Pelipper, like we were talking about before. It
Yes.
did really well. A lot of teams did really well with it. I just like they posted all the top cut teams without EVs on the website. So I just
on Pro
grabbed
Pokemon?
that, made a couple changes, and chose some EVs. I don't know where it links from. Someone gave me the link directly to it, so we could.
I mean,
I can
also
send
like
it to you guys. We can include it in whatever.
I'm looking at the VGC paste repository, and they have all the Poke pastes.
Oh, they do awesome. Yeah, then just use that
Oh,
as
sorry,
thing. It's
that's
just
the
amazing.
open team paste. Never
Yeah,
mind.
they're not going to give
yeah.
away their EVs.
Yeah,
If they
no
do, it'll be
EVs.
directly
Same thing
from
on
the
Victory
person.
Road. Same thing on Victory Road.
that
It
makes
has
more
all the-
sense. Okay.
But yeah, like I absolutely loved. I've been playing it just all morning, just kind of messing around on ladder, and it's
sad.
so cool.
I'm sad because I'm seeing on, just looking briefly down this list, and I'm seeing rain. There's so much rain. I
Yeah.
love rain, and I've not been playing rain, and apparently rain is good.
I'll send you a paste. It's a lot of fun actually.
And Excalibur's good, apparently.
Yeah. So there's a whole bunch of other things though. Yeah, Baxcalibur obviously showed off an amazing showing. Tauros as well, like brought back
Tauros.
Intimidate
There's
in
a
a big
bunch
way.
of Tauros, yeah.
And part of that is that so a lot of Dozo players made the adjustment that they started running the speed Tatsu instead
Yes.
of the attack one.
Yep.
And like so Wolfie was talking about that. The mics in the speakers in the venue were pretty bad, so I didn't fully catch the interview. But what I heard was him saying that basically like, yeah, when Dozo gets speed boost, it doesn't flat out win games for you anymore, but it does get chip onto basically everything. It can outspeed Meowscarada, it can outspeed Gengar, it can outspeed
I
like pretty much
see.
anything that isn't Prankster, that wants to haze it and so on, right? So you get this like big chip damage down on everything because you're still +2 and you're probably running a lot more offensive investment if you know you're not getting attack boosts, and then just the rest of your team gets to finish things off. But what that meant, that's a really cool adjustment, and obviously like Wolf and a bunch of other players like brought Dozo pretty far in. But it also meant that now Intimidate did a lot because you only get those 2 attack boosts and then you're done. All your order ups only make you faster, but if you're weak, then you're not doing anything with that speed.
Yeah, of
And,
all the Dozos in top 16 at least, I'm only seeing one that has the attack Tatsugiri.
Yeah,
Everyone else is stretchy.
I think it was Emilio who brought the attack one.
You are correct. It was Emilio.
Yeah, and Emilio went undefeated in Swiss, which is absolutely insane.
Yeah.
They only lost to I think Chupa.
I
person who came
don't have
second.
the.
Yeah, because he lost the mirror. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it was super cool to watch all these adjustments and like G-Sock, the person who won the whole thing, like showed off a really cool, like you can pin Dozo as well with Meowscarada plus an ice type. Dozo usually terras either dragon or flying or grass in order to resist Meowscarada Flower Trick and not just die to it. In fact, it doesn't even break your sub if you resist it. But you do that, and now you're suddenly weak to ice, and then Baxcalibur is hitting you with loaded dice icicle spears, and you're down in 2 turns.
So looking at G-Sock's team, it was Garganical, Baxcalibur, Mimikyu, Water Tauros, Meowscarada, and Goldengo. Very interesting to see. I mean, I was excited to see Baxcalibur do work.
Garganical, like coming in and just winning the first title was unexpected. It was like huge in the beginning, and then it just fell off massively. But and they didn't run like the Iron Defense body press set either. It was Protect and Wide Guard, and then
Protect,
Salt
Wide
and just
Guard,
wanted to get,
recover,
it just wanted to Salt Cure and just start the chip.
Wait, with a Terra type of poison.
Which is interesting, but it's cool because it resists both fighting and ground. Not ground. Fighting and what's the other one? What's the other weakness it has that poison resists?
Grass.
That's it.
Grass.
Yeah.
But yeah,
so
it
was a really
cool.
interesting Terra type. I'd never seen that. Gargs usually like go grass or something like that, but grass or water.
It's also very fun to see. I mean, Garganical is the obvious, right now, choice for Stall. And to see Stall do something in VGC is pretty cool.
There's all kinds of...
It's turned into singles. Toxic Debris.
Right, yes.
Like hazards actually play a role.
Bringing that in.
I want to talk about that too. Hazards are back. And
did you see a lot?
I don't know if I'd say a lot, but they are there. This was like
some is a lot for VGC.
Yeah, so people were talking about this pre-regional, only nobody was sure if it was going to actually make a mark, but it did. Emilio was one of the people who was running Toxic Spikes. And there was a couple Glamoras for the same reason, and the reason is to win the Dozo mirror or just the Dozo matchup in and of itself. Because you set Toxic down, and then that Dozo isn't living very long, even if it's true. Boosted all the way up. And oh god, the thing I lost to, I didn't find out that until this regional that Curse on a ghost type goes through Substitute.
Yes, it's bad.
It goes through Substitute.
It messes up.
It's sound based. It's like you're cursing them verbally or something.
Oh.
It messes up,
and then it kills you in 5 turns. So that was. I had
Fair
the
enough.
misfortune. I lost anyway against to play against Raghav in the second round. So Raghav was Team India, Team Kill, and
I had was it a Dragapult that did it to you? Because I had a Dragapult mess me up.
Oh no, it was a Mimikyu actually in Raghav's case.
I had a Dragon.
It's cool because Mimi has that disguise, right? So it doesn't matter how many boosts you have.
I had an Infiltrator one do it to me, and then they were Dragon Darts me through my sub on top of that.
Oh,
I was like, rude. Oh well, yeah, it was. I was like, oh, that's okay, that's something.
Yeah. I think this is the problem with playing Dozo is like, yes, it's very powerful, but that means that everyone has a plan for it, and some of those plans are things you've probably never
because you have
before.
to though.
Yep. I saw the curse on the team sheet, and I was like, okay, that's fine, but it's a status move, so I can just sub, and he has nothing that can break me, so I'm just gonna win once I sub. And they're like, nope, no, you die in 5 turns. Enjoy that.
And yawn doesn't go through sub though.
It doesn't.
An actual sound.
Apparently in Japan, yawn is not the same word or something. So I don't know, but yeah, that I also discovered that last gen.
Yeah,
I'm looking,
which
to
made
see
no
what
sense.
that
Like
is.
like parting shot and everything else goes through it, but nope, not yawn. Sit there with your Gastrodon wanting to yawn everything, and the sub stopped you for some. Also, I like seeing Gothitelle show up.
Gothitelle did pretty well, yeah. There was a decent amount of special Dragonite, which is interesting. The rain team I saw had it was Sharp Beak, Hurricane, Terra Flying, Dragonite. Yep. There was also Terra Flying Physical with just Terra Blast, because Dragonite's best flying stab is Wing Attack or Aerial Ace on the physical side, which is terrible. But Terra Blast is base 80, it's good enough. And then when you get like there's just so many like really cool sets. I lost to someone with Torment Murkrow. So that means that like Prankster, they can make it so you can't use the same move twice. And so I was about to win with Icy Wind on Tatsu.
And then you had to struggle.
Oh, no.
So you torment a choice user, and then they have to struggle. And I actually lost the match because my Tatsu was perfect, quote unquote. It had 0 attack. And it came down to whether it could pick up the KO on a red health mon with struggle. And it missed it.
Good grief.
No, Yan is Yan in Japanese.
Really interesting. Yeah, I don't know why it's not sound based then.
Huh.
That's just what I
it doesn't
heard.
make
I
any
don't know anything
sense.
about Japanese, so
I just had to Google it.
everything I say on here is just a garbled version of something someone else said to me at some point.
That's what life is.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But yeah.
Okay.
But so many interesting things though, and all of it we're tossing out the window because none of this
Yeah.
matters.
Yeah, no, series 2, right? Like
Well, so how much of this do you think we will take into series 2, right? Like, we've seen some interactions, we've seen some cool dozo responses, which if you have a big beefy thing, maybe what's big and beefy in Paradox Mons? Iron Hands is the first thing I can think of. I don't know. But if you have responses to some things now, like dozo's not necessarily going away. There might be some stuff we take into series 2, but it is all going to change.
Yes.
yeah, I don't think any series 1 team will be copy pastable into series 2. Like
I believe that
I agree.
wholeheartedly.
you could use it, but you will probably lose.
It'll be underpowered.
Yeah, because it's like not running restricted almost. Like they're not restricted, but they are strong Pokemon. Like
Yeah, and in a lot of cases they do things that no currently legal one does.
Yeah.
Like Fluttermane is going to be
Fluttermane
absolutely
is
insane.
even. I
Bonnet
mean,
is
Raging
huge.
Moon. I think Raging Moon.
Raging Moon acrobatics booster energy stuff.
It is
wild.
it hits like a truck. So
Yeah, I'm excited for Rowan Moon. I'm excited for Bonnet, and I missed Iron Bundle before we knew Series 1, so I want to see what that's all about.
It's very cool. It's 1 point faster than Fluttermane, and it gets Icy Wind.
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, so it's kind of discount
It's-
Regieleki.
Yep.
sure. I like that. I like Discount Regieleki. It's really good.
And it has a solid special attack stat too, so you can like blast things with Hydro Pump. My issue with it is that so the only mon that has inaccurate moves on the team I brought was Tatsu, and Iron Bundle shares all of those same inaccurate moves apart from Draco, and I just don't want any part of that. I'm
Don't want no muddy waters.
Inaccuracy is great.
Hydro Pump, yeah, 80%. That's the same as like Stone Edge, right? Like it's
I think so. Yeah. Yeah, I'm still sad. I was talking about this in a different Discord earlier today. That Scald is out of the game, so there's no special water move that's in that same range as
you're stuck running Chilling Water and being really underpowered or rolling the dice.
And a burn is way better than a stat drop.
Yeah, I don't care that. Like, I just want a move to replace that accuracy and power spot.
Give me Scald that doesn't burn. I will take that like gladly.
Give me stronger water gun.
But it is a weird that they've removed that. I almost forgot they removed it at this point. Like, I just haven't thought about it. But
yeah, nobody's running it. But yeah, it would be really nice. Tatsu would really appreciate it. Iron Bundle would definitely appreciate it.
Right. What is Water Pulse the next highest?
it's 60 base power. I know. I think
That's
Water Pulse
some
is.
aerial ace level stuff right
60.
there.
Yeah.
It's not,
Yuck.
not what you want to do.
And
No.
Chilling Water is 50.
50, yeah.
Yeah,
And,
this,
and
Like,
like
the
only
guaranteed
like
-1 is fine, but like at that point, I'd almost rather have Baby Doll Eyes because at least it's priority.
yeah.
yeah, that's fair. So
But sometimes a chip is nice. Like, if you just need a move and you're not
I
trying
will
to
say
like,
I wasn't.
pick up
I brought
KOs.
Soak on my Scarf Tatsu to do like the cute like Soak flower trick stuff.
It never touched
but, I never clicked it. Yeah,
I don't think
before
I've
that, I had
ever
Chilling
clicked
Water
it.
in that slot, which is nice to just like if something has 1 HP, I don't have to roll the dice. I just Chilling Water it. So like
sure.
it has a role, but
Yeah, I saw soaks on Tatsugiris, and I think on one of the pages you sent me at one point, and I was like, I don't know why I'd ever want to use this.
I have it on mine too, but it's
you pick
there.
up you pick up the occasional cheeky game where they don't see it coming.
It's cheeky,
With
sure,
Meowscarada,
but
yeah,
like,
it's with Meowscarada, like you soak because it's going to be faster because it's Scarf, so you soak,
Right.
flower tricking, just start changing
Just
everything
start
to water types.
one shot in things. So it's like I see it, but like
And like people will want to sucker punch your Tatsu all the time because they suspect it's scarfed. So you just have that option to be like, no, you don't sucker punch me, and then Meowscarada kills you. Like you suddenly turn the tables on a King Gambit or something. But Soak
That's
also
fair.
doesn't override Terra, so it's kind of awful this gen.
Yep.
correct. That's right.
Which
So it would be kind of cool to see like the crystals changed from like the dragon to like
the
here's your
water.
water
Water.
spout.
That'd be
Yeah,
now your water.
that'd be really cool.
Yeah.
All things considered. Okay, what else? We didn't really go through any other teams. Uh, what else was really cool from your experience that you went up against?
That I went up against? Okay. Yeah, so that team that Rogov brought was really cool. It had like Salazzle, Baxcalibur, Life Orb, Mimikyu with Curse, the Bull. Like seeing so many Tauros there was wild. That ended up going well beyond just that match I had with Rogov. That was all over the tournament. I think Bax was like almost as common as Goldango. Not Bax, Tauros, which is wild. Goldango was also all over the final bracket.
Yeah, I'm looking at it, and there's a lot of Bull, there's a lot of Cheese Stick Man, there's a lot of Rain we already talked about. But
really cool thing with the Bull I saw, and you can do with Intimidate in general, is they put a Mirror Herb on an Intimidate Mon.
Yes.
And then you purposefully intimidate a Defiant Mon, and you get the full +2, and they only get the +1. And then something like Tauros is pretty fast too, so you just flat out kill the
it's faster than all the Defiant Mons. So
it's pretty cool stuff. We saw a Revival Blessing or two go off on stream, so that was cool. Okay. Completed the bingo for us.
Yeah.
Fair.
Bingo's completed all over the place on this stream, so
there are a lot of Mousehold, if I remember correctly.
Mousehold Annihilate was huge. I don't know how well it did in the final bracket, but it was all over the place. And yeah, I realized my answer to it was lacking also. So that was
that's been one of my favorite pairs. I've been running that for a while now. Mousehold and Annihilate on my team, and
yeah, you beat up the Rage Fists at like 200 base power.
Yeah, but you have so many options. Like if you don't want to do that, I mean, Population Bomb just is a delete button half the time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Population Bomb also is not in at least the highest ranking mouse.
A lot of Mouseholds don't even bring Population Bomb anymore. They go just
Follow Me, Beat Up, Super Fang.
Yeah.
I like my I like my delete button.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of hybrid ones that go like Friend Guard, but they still go wide lens and Pop Bomb, so you can still kill a lot of stuff and it's still super fast.
I mean, even if you're doing 5%, like each hit,
still,
10 hits is 50% of your HP. Like that's a chunk.
Yeah, it even chunks Dozo. It's kind of wild.
In all your playing a Population Bomb in Series 1, have you ever not gotten the full 10?
Yes.
Doesn't it feel so bad to get 4?
I run wide lens with wide lens.
With wide lens, yes.
Yeah,
so you get that 1% of like missing, and it's like, oh man, that's just tears.
I'm running wide lens, and I had earlier today I hit once. I was like looking at it, I was like, are they bright powder? Like why did it miss?
I've seen Snowcloak and Sandvale mess up Mousehold.
Yeah. Oh, sure. Yeah.
Because like that little accuracy chance is way more likely to proc over 10 times.
Yeah, over 10 times, yeah.
Yeah. I've just I have rolled a natural 1% on that Population Bomb with a wide lens, and I was so sad.
Same
I thought the Showdown just didn't like me. Okay. What else? Do we have anything else we want to go over for San Diego?
Man. I mean, say there's way too long of a line at In-N-Out. Don't try to go to In-N-Out on a Saturday night. It's not gonna go well for you.
With a bunch of nerds in San Diego for a convention.
We took an Uber like 15 minutes away to go to In-N-Out, and it was still just lines around. It's just something like they really like their fast food there, like more than I would have thought. But I was like, I'm gonna do this. I've only done this a couple times when I go to California. I was like, no, not worth it. But yeah, no, I would say just like have something you're comfortable with. Be ready to be a little tired. Bring some snacks because you're gonna get a lunch break, but they won't let you out for dinner. So,
I didn't think about that.
Yeah, like
goodness.
Just be prepped, be ready to play a lot, and have fun with it. Like it's really easy to like get in your head about this stuff. I saw a lot of like good players be like kind of stressed. And,
it happens.
Yeah. So
especially when
just have a good time. It's a game at the end of the day, and go talk to as many people as you can. It's like I met a lot of people that I had like seen or like vaguely interacted with on Twitter, but didn't think I would like actually talk to. And we're all just weirdos playing this game. Like,
and every time you spoke to someone new, you said, make sure to listen, like, and follow the Game Corner on all the stuff, right?
That's the kind of person most people want to talk to, right? Is like just the guy who shows his podcast within 3 seconds of meeting you. Yeah.
No, 5. You got to get into the conversation first.
Oh, by the way.
Yeah. I'm on a small podcast. You may have heard of me. Probably not, but no. But yeah, so we have just a couple weeks until Orlando. So we will be, I imagine, talking about team building, doing a lot of stuff in the Discord. So go ahead and while shilling about the podcast, I'll mention Discord down below. So we can get ready for that all together as a fun
join
community.
We're all in the same horrible place on Series 2. So
maybe we can get some best of threes or something if you want to test.
We'll
and play.
organize something.
We'll figure something out.
Well, we've still got the Battle Corner going on in Series 1 now, which is...
So now I'm sad. I was going to say, the Battle Corner, here we are, Series 1.
And you're irrelevant.
Yeah. So I was really hoping
for what it's worth, it is still the official format. And
yes.
Any events that go on this month, unless they're like preview ones, will still be Series 1. I think even like USPA is still Series 1 for now. So, you know.
Until
USPA
February 1st.
We probably won't see a lot of meta shifts, but it's still really well worth like playing the format and being good at it right now. So
I think
it'll carry over.
The format's grown on me too. Like, I guess, you know,
Same.
it's just been one of the things, like, I'm finally
this is the best gen for competitive. I feel like it's just
just kind of like getting in the swing. Yeah, well, except for watching it. God, I hate that stadium.
I was waiting for one of us to say that, you know, watching.
It's horrible, man.
Oh, so sad.
The stream is so bad to watch.
Sword and Shield at least made it a great spectacle.
Yeah, at least you had the
Every
stadium.
time.
You had the Rotom camera flying around. Like, this thing, like, you got grandma and her twin standing back there cheering. You got like 4 little kids. Like,
Yeah.
like it's just like,
I hope they do something to try and capture that.
Hopefully the DLC, like, here's a new stadium. This is the new battle spot.
Please.
Yeah,
it was not as epic as it could have been, but
yeah,
we're gonna miss Sword and Shield a little bit.
I already missed at least just the streams. Like,
yeah, the streams are really fun to watch.
Because it always got me like,
yeah.
Like, I loved how the crowd would get into it. Like, you know, like you get a crit, the crowd would cheer. You Dynamax, they start chanting.
Yeah,
you have your proud dad at every match.
Yes.
Yeah. Whatever it was. Oh, so good. So, okay. What else? I mean, I think I
think that covers it. I got nothing.
Yeah, I think we wrung Rowan dry after that weekend. So are we done? Is that it? Are we done with the podcast? I have nothing else. I was trying to think of something and I am coming up dry.
No, I think we're good.
Cool. So again, make sure you join the Discord down below so that we can get all this stuff going for Series 2 and prepping for Orlando. As we get closer and closer to Orlando, I mean, I'm sure we'll be more and more excited about it. Not that we're not right now. But team building, practicing best of threes, yada, 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 all that fun stuff. We'll do in the Discord down below. If you like listening to a very, very tired Rowan talk about his experiences across the country for playing a children's video game competitively, you can support us on Patreon down below. We have a single tier, which we should talk about offline and maybe add things to. I have a couple of ideas. But right now, just $1. Get your name in the credits of the podcast, and you know, show us that support, and everything we get from it goes right back into doing stuff for the community, etc., etc. Battle Corner's going on. Well, maybe we can finish if we push people. I think we can finish it real fast and do a Series 2 one.
Yeah, maybe down.
Maybe. Yeah. So we can try that out. Okay. Well, we'll see people in Discord for that. My name has been Harrison. I'm going to mess this up because I don't have my script in front of me, and Rowan's tired, so he wouldn't even notice, but I'll say it anyway. No, my name's Harrison. You can find me on Twitch and Twitter. Hopefully I can get back to streaming soon.
I did the other night.
I know. I'm so proud of you. I tuned in. I didn't say anything, but I was watching a little bit briefly, and I was like going to give you the opposite of crap for doing good. Praise? That's what it is. I give you praise you. So yes, you are the most recent streamer on this between the two of us, because Rowan puts out videos. Okay, hold on. I almost have it. It's right here. Oh my goodness, where did I put it? Why is it not here? My name's Harrison, Ixen. Twitch and Twitter. Got that part. Who are you?
I'm Rowan. You can find me on Twitter as Rowan W Hall, YouTube Rowan Hall. I have actually started recording footage. I'm gonna finally get back on YouTube pretty soon. Just need to edit that up. And yeah, come give me a watch. And
This is Sheldon. You can find me on Twitter at Captain_Unova and on Twitch at Captain Unova.
And thanks to RobKTA and Game Chops for use of our theme song Goldenrod Game Corner off the Ultraball album. We have been the Game Corner. You can find us on Twitter at Game Corner VGC. You can find us at Spotify and YouTube, the opposite of the one you're listening to us right now on. All those links are down below. Again, Discord, all that fun stuff. Next week, we'll talk about some of the Paradox Pokemon that you are going to see in Series 2 and what we think of them. And until next time, Rowan needs to go nap, but press start and game on.
there are visible bags under my eyes, like in this recording right now. Like,
Actually,
so there's a question I need to answer too. Who pounds the most beers after a regional? Out of all the people
Nino.
you hung out, Nino.
Oh no,
yeah,
Nino.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think anybody else had the energy to go really go drink heavily.
So that's
Nino
who
was just
that's who I'm gonna.
"Let's
I want to
go."
find a guy in a Pokemon suit, and that's who I'm
Yeah,
gravitating
yeah, and he
towards.
wears that suit
Fair
to
enough.
every event too. Yeah.
That's also not shocking. Also, your eyes are not baggy, at least not that I can see. But okay, don't do that. You're not helping yourself because the shadows and like the lighting through your glasses,
the glasses
is really
are
hiding
kind
it.
of hiding it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely,
hides it.
I didn't notice it until you said anything. Me, I always have them though because I am also very tired. So, all right, I'm gonna stop recording now.
Oh, have we been recording? Oh, good.
Yes.
Good.
This all goes at the
That-
end.
It goes at the end. That's why I wanted to ask. I wanted
We
to
had
get
this.
that.
Yes. So I don't expect you to have listened to the last episode, but Sheldon and I talked about this in the end part of the last episode. That's very confusing. Did that come out right in English?
That's very meta. Yeah.
Okay. Goodbye.